ladies and gentlemen. My name is Big Future, and welcome to fourth episode of the Opinion Lounge. And with me today, I have amazing guests. Without much ado, I want them to introduce themselves before we proceed on to our today's topic. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, my lady.
I'm Kiprop.
Grace.
Yeah, so today with me, I have Kiprop and Grace. Our topic for today is really interesting. Should we have sex before or after marriage? Should we have sex before or after marriage? Before you even listen to what our amazing guests have to say, I want to hear from what do you think. Should we have sex before or after marriage? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. This is gonna be fun. So allow me to welcome my guests. The floor is yours. Who's going to take the lead? What's your thought on this? Should we have sex before or after marriage? Gracie.
Personally, I don't think having sex before marriage is a bad idea. It's nice. It's okay. It's the new normal. Like literally everyone is doing it, so I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, Gracie is saying sex is the new normal, and she doesn't have a problem with it. So that's her thought. Okay, Prob, what do you think?
I think that sex before marriage is not a good thing. As much as it's the new normal, it's not a good thing at all. Okay, not at all, but it's not a good thing. Yeah.
Okay, so Gracie, let me start with Grace. Now, what is late? Let me know at least one of your number one reason for saying should have sex before marriage.
I mean, like if you have sex before marriage, you have that capability of knowing, like, whom are you attracted to, like whether you belong to a different spectrum or whether you're straight. You see. So if you decide to rush into marriage and then like at the end you find out, okay, you realize that maybe you're attracted to guys or ladies, then you end up breaking up your relationship. It's costly. Yeah,
it's costly, especially when you think you have got the real person.
Yeah.
Right? So basically, you're trying to say it helps you get to identify your sexual orientation at an early age. Thank you. Okay, Kiprop, what do you think?
So, okay, first of all, it's against religiously. We all know that sex before marriage is a sin. So that will be hurtful to maybe someone holds a perspective. Religious belief that sex before marriage is bad. So you might not force the person to have sex before marriage. Something like that. Yeah.
And simply it's like that. Kiprop is saying, for example, if your denomination or if your religion teaches you don't have sex before marriage, it could be like you going against you.
Yeah, you're going against your religion.
We are in the 21st century. And like literally we have peer influence, we have influence from the Western culture. So like you can't tell me you are...
Okay, there are still some people who hold deep beliefs. They're seriously into religion. As much as it's the 21st century.
A very few number.
Not very few.
Very few.
Depends on where you stay.
No,
Your environment.
Your environment.
Really? I mean, like...
Okay, if it's an urban setting, maybe the aspect of religion is not that deep in urban areas.
Both urban, both mashamba.
Mashamba urban people are seriously...
Let me tell you why. Uko mashamba kwanza, like, we find that these guys, they're trying to take advantage of the naive girls, you see. So like they try to lure them with things like laptop, like smartphones. You get?
Exactly. Now you're going. Maybe this girl believes in sex before marriage is a sin. That naive girl. But now this girl with a laptop is trying to intimidate her.
You know, once you do it, like you can't. I mean, it's not a sin. Like.
But in terms of religion, it's a sin.
Okay. Aside from I get your point.
And culture as well. Yeah.
I get your point. Yeah. So aside from what Kiprop said to do with religion, what do you think is another reason people should have sex before marriage? You said earlier, number one, it's the new normal. Number two, you said it's important for people to identify their sexual orientation early.
Another one, you can know whether you're compatible with your partner or not. Like in this case scenario, like I'm dating this guy, and then we have like sex before marriage. Like from there, okay, like let me say this, like we can use sex as a determining factor whether me and this guy will continue dating or whether our relationship will end the moment you're done having sex. So like you get to know like whether you guys are compatible, whether you guys are vibing. You see.
So like you're saying sex is a test to measure a compatibility with your partner.
Yeah.
Are there other means of measuring compatibility aside from sex? I want to know.
So what if the partner declines sex?
Like I said
On
before.
grounds of religion.
In terms of religion. Okay.
Yes, you're using it as a test. But now this partner is deeply into religion. Akatae the aspect of you guys having sex before marriage.
Akikata you guys to have sex and you want
So that will be the end of the
And you want
relationship.
to know if you're compatible.
Akikata and you guys like, let's say I want to have sex and my partner doesn't want to have sex. Question number one, unless I'll be asking myself questions like, am I not too good for him? Like, why does he or she view me in this way? You see, you'll start having this, you'll feel guilty. And at some point, like your self-esteem will be lowered, like this person. Or
Sinajua kuvaa, you're looking at it, I know how to dress, I am cute.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm specifying. His reason is my religion doesn't allow. Or my culture, where I come from, it doesn't allow.
As teenagers, like we have there's a lot of peer pressure, a lot of influence. So like imagine you're just chilling with your friends and then like this one is talking about they had sex last night. This other one they took it at the next level, and you just sit there and like when you try to remember what I told you, like like I don't want to do it because like of religion, things of the sort. Like you'll be forced to like move on to like find someone when you're like muna vibe. You'll feel as if
Compatible.
you'll feel as if like even sound like Kazia certain you want to explore. So like you find someone in the same niche as
Someone
you.
who wants to explore like you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Kiprop, what do you have to say?
On that point or a different
Yeah,
point?
a different point.
So, sex before marriage definitely has its own consequences. First things, you're not prepared. Maybe something like pregnancy. Maybe you're a student in campus. Then this guy gives you just get pregnant. How will you go about that?
If you pregnancy. Yeah, and now let's squeeze it between expensive. Yeah, I get it.
So
That's the generic one.
but it still functions.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you can Kiprop is saying, yeah, you come again.
Pregnancy, as
Pregnancy.
in there's the aspect of pregnancy before marriage.
Before marriage. Yeah, Mazem to
Or
marriage.
just early pregnancy in short.
Yeah, so Kiprop basically saying you shouldn't have sex before marriage because there's the fear of early pregnancies and let me call them unwanted pregnancies. Though we never have cases of unwanted sex, yeah.
As much as you guys, if you're pregnant, I mean, why shouldn't you have sex when you're not planning? Like, you're going to have sex. If I have sex and get pregnant, why can't you plan like ahead of that? I mean, why? Why do that? And if you feel like you can get pregnant, there are definitely alternative solutions. You can decide like I should either check on family planning, I should abstain. So I mean I don't get it why you should rush into having sex if you're not planning. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thought on the same. Let's move on to another thought that you felt why people should have sex before marriage, Gracie.
you have a thing. If you have sex before marriage, you can. I mean, sex is nice. As much as it is nice, you're able to know. Okay, like study shows when you have sex, you relieve stress, things of the sort. So it's a good thing. And then like when you have sex, it's like your mind opens and then
your mind opens.
You become creative. You start reasoning. You start making mature decisions. That's it. That's what okay.
I don't know what I always think about the same. And that is having sex open your mind, make you so creative. Or what you started with earlier, saying sex helps you relieve stress. That is true. There's a lot of study that shows that it leads to the production of the feel-good hormones, the oxytocin, the endorphins, and the likes. The feel-good hormones. Yeah, let me hear from you. Is it true having sex open your minds, according to Gracie? Kiprop, you have something to say on that?
You might have to open your mind and go get some testing. Because the process you might get what do we call them, STDs or the STIs.
And the name of opening your mind.
The name of opening your mind, trying to get mature.
Trying to make mature decisions.
So you'll have to go to the
you make
the
a mature
voluntary
No,
decision.
like I said before, you have to learn. You have to plan for these things.
But you can't plan. Maybe your partner has the STD but can't tell you.
So why have sex with
I can't just come
someone
and tell you I have gonorrhea or I have HIV.
you know, but why have sex with someone you don't know what their status is? Why? Why would you make that premature decision?
You talked about peer pressure.
Would you
Peer pressure will lead to immaturity. Immature decisions.
Very right.
But remember, it's also you to be responsible. Like, I mean, no one can take care of you. You have to look out for yourself. And like you said, like no one can tell you like I have STIs, STDs, I have AIDS. You know, like at the end of it all, someone just wants maybe to have sex with you and then, you know, just for that pleasure and then walk away.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, so you end up with that, maybe infected, you end up pregnant.
You're there alone.
That's why you have to be responsible. The person you're having
But you're still
sex
young.
with,
You can't be that responsible. Or that mature.
you
You're
always
still young.
have to. You're not young. You always have to.
You're not that young, but you're not that mature.
Unless, in this case, like let's say you are a 14-year-old, like 15, but let us say 21st century. These kids are, they know a lot.
They know a lot.
They know a lot. So like, ingekuwa zile enzi za kitambo, hapo ndo ungesema like yeah. But say you
But
just
like kitambo, virginity was valued.
yeah, that was
So it was
kitambo.
rare. These STDs were rare. Okay, maybe they'll not even exist.
But zilikuwa.
Okay, I think in the past we didn't have them because the first case of HIV in Kenya was first reported in 1984. I think we have some few weeks ago, that first person who got infected with HIV died some few days ago. It was on the news. Yeah, some few days ago. Yeah, so I think in the past, what could be the reason we didn't have?
Virginity was valued. Sticking to one partner.
And also, people also married at a young age.
I mean, exposure. People are not really exposed.
Away from that point. Let's move on. Kiprop, tell us a reason. Grace just said having sex opens your mind. We were still waiting for ways to let us know what you think. Does having sex open your mind make you more creative? Kiprop, what's your other point?
Okay, first, maybe you're a student in campus. You're there engaging in sexual relationship. Ultimately, that will lead to you're losing focus. Yeah, you're losing focus. You're focused more on the relationship more than maybe your academics, maybe your main agenda. But now you have this other agenda. So this you make it your main agenda. Education inakuwa side hustle.
What's being stupid?
Yeah, you might skip classes because you want to open your mind. Sex.
I think
Morning
Kelvin's
glory,
trying
you're
to say. Kelvin's trying to say when it help having sex before marriage makes you sometimes lose focus on what is supposed to be the main focus, because now you have the aspect of relationship coming in now in sex, and you have to be not really relationship but sex. You have to give some time to it too, and you have some other important things to do, like your studies for.
But don't you feel like sex is too good?
No.
You're comparing academic sex.
You have to be responsible. And as much as it's addictive to some people,
It's addictive.
you just have to be responsible. I mean, you can't be having sex like from Sunday to Sunday. Like, who does that? Unless if you, I don't think sex can make you deviate. That's just being stupid.
Ni kama kusema nini ati ni ule nini kuna watu walinyang'anywa simu. Sorry for the parents. Kuna watu walinyang'anywa simu ati ni wa concentrate ukiwa form 4
Academics.
Yeah. Tuko campus wote.
Yeah, but sex is something else.
It's
You just
another,
want to feel good.
It's another unit on its
So
own.
you're there, class ya 7 niende ama nisikie tu vizuri.
You can't compare sex to drugs. Like,
But zote ni
they have
addiction.
something in common. Like both are addictive. But with the drugs, you can do drugs like Sunday to Sunday. You're okay with that. But sex, acha nikijaribu kupicture aspect like Sunday to Sunday, you're just there because you want to
Ziko some
feel
tunapiga Sunday
just-
to Sunday.
Do we? Yeah, so back to Grace.
Okay,
Yeah.
inaweza kuwa necessarily see the same person. Leo niko na huyu, kesho huyu, the other day this or that way. Different.
Interesting. Takona bro.
Sisemi ni mimi, but I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
So maybe unapata Monday ni ako hapo 7, Tuesday maybe 1 is good. Wednesday usiku iko sawa.
So like you can't plan for your other stuff.
Yeah, you're just there focused.
Aside, away from that point, Kiprop said basically there's lack of focus on the aspects that matter to you, especially, for example, if you're studying if you're in campus. Grace, what do you think? What's your other point? What do you think? Should we have sex before or after marriage? Why should we have sex before marriage, Grace? Another reason?
I think the issue is the explore first. It's nice to explore the various options you have before you finally decide to marry. Like, let me use this analogy. Like, we find that men, our fathers, sorry to say, like men who are our fathers, some of us are our fathers, they decided to marry at an early age. Like, there's this aspect like where you're told like you're supposed to be a virgin, preserve your virginity till marriage. And then the issue comes, you're married, your partner doesn't satisfy you, you're not satisfied with your partner. What do you end up doing?
You start exploring at a very wrong age. I get your point. Yeah, so
Start cheating.
when you're young, this is the time we should explore.
Whatever you want.
That reminds me of a babe I was looking at the other day. Ilikuwa inasema ati he had to see you cheating and looking for the right partner.
At least that's the only outside marriage.
It's allowed. You know, unajua, if you decide like to start cheating when you're married, what picture you painting for your children, your wife, I mean, it's just bad. And then like these people, they feel like they're now entitled like to their wives, their children, so they just have to make it. Siati nile watawaambia like I have this other person I'm seeing and I'm really interested. That's why I want to break up with you. These guys will stick around. They'll fool you. We are good. But to concept.
Pretty little lies. Kiprop, I see we're running out of time. Kiprop, tell us, maybe
kiasi nikana napigiwa.
Oh, okay. It's
Just
okay.
you came acha kurecord.
Just
Kama pause.
check. I hope it's recording. I record.
Ndio inaendelea sasa.
Ilikata inaendelea. So maybe okay. Maybe
you're running out of time.
Yeah, your last point.
My last point.
And then after that we'll give our parting shots. Yeah. And then we'll be done.
Last point. Okay. Okay, this might have to deal with maybe single parent. There you're okay. Allow me to use still campus setting or not setup setting. You're there on campus. You have this boy. You have this girl. Engaging in sex. You're not married. You're just there for the fun. Then not by accident. Because it's not accident. It's not an accident. The girl gets pregnant. This boy is too young. Can't afford maybe the kid. So the girl is left alone.
Oh, so unalikuwa kipetero kiyesu.
And it's common. We see it especially 21st century.
Thank you so much, Kiprop. Thank you so much, Grace. Maybe we should give our okay, guys. Whatever Grace has said, whatever Kiprop has said, does not basically mean that is their stand. We hate to have fans like, oh, maybe Grace, that is your stand. Yeah. Okay. Quote and quote, it may not, and the line may not be necessarily the stand. We just had a conversation. And so let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you, Kiprop. Thank you, Grace. Maybe you can have your final thoughts on this thing. You don't have to be on the same side you wanted to. You were on previously. You can say anything. This is now. What do you feel about this?
Okay, for me, as much as sex is normalized these days. So responsibility. And everything, including sex.
Wow, thank you. Grace.
What she's just saying, responsibility is key. Like, before you decide to have sex, that's a very big decision. And you have to consider a lot of things. You just don't have to rush it. Because remember, no one will look out for you. At the end of the day, it will just be you and you alone. Either you get infected, either you get pregnant, it's just you. So even if your partner guarantees that it's okay to have raw sex, which most of us are doing anyway, we should insist on using protection. And we should also encourage, as parents, we should also encourage our children not to shy away from these things. Because unapata these families where they don't talk about sex, the children end up being messed up badly.
True.
Jaribu experiment.
Yeah. So parents should talk to their children. It should be an open topic. It should.
Yeah, that's a very good perspective. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Kiprop. Yeah, I want to know from Aviz. Yeah, has your parents ever talked to you about sex? Not really telling you how nice it is or whatever. Sexual responsibility. Has any of your parents talked to you about sexual responsibility? The way they're talking to you concerning maybe your grades, your dreams. Are they handled in the same manner, in the same measure? Because Grace said a very important point. Yeah, this families that kids are not told about sex at an early age. They're not taught sexual responsibility at an early age.
When they're sexually active.
Yeah, it leads to very big mess. So I don't know. Yeah, I think if we go around asking parents, unajua hata mkiwa mna watch movie ama let's say you're watching Zora and then there's a kissing scene inakuja hapo hivyo. Mzee anipatia shughuli ni kama si haona kitu hapo. Ama nakwambia Kiprop, uliosha mabati leo.
Wewe uliletea maji.
Yeah.
What?
I think we should shun. We should stop shunning from talking about this topic. It's a very sensitive topic. Should we want to raise very responsible young individuals? That has been it for today. I want to know what you're thinking. Let us know down below the comment section. I have been your host, Big Future. My name is Keegan Brian. Thank you, Kiprop, for coming. Thank you, Grace, for coming. Till next time. See you. Bye bye. Adios, muchachos.
Ciao.